Like it's almost like a drug. Like once you get that high of like a mix that you can see through, it's like, yo, I'm not going back. That type of warmth that you really just can't achieve. I don't give a fuck what none of these companies say. There's no way you can achieve that feeling, to my opinion, in the box. You know?
MixByAli is known for being one of today's top mix engineers, who has helped shape the sound of artists like Kendrick Lamar, Mac Miller, Nipsey Hussle, and so many more. But one signature secret weapon of his process is his SSL console. In today's video, I'll be showing you the tips, tricks, and techniques Ali uses to take advantage of this console to help shape his signature sound. Ali was first exposed to the SSL under the mentorship of none other than Dr. Dre, the king of the SSL. Before meeting Dre, Ali was strictly in the box, so after learning Dre's techniques, he was able to fuse together both approaches to create his signature identity.
I started in the box, you know, on a bunch of cracked and stolen plugins. And then, you know, working with Dre, you know, obviously he's an analog king. You know, he taught me his techniques on the SSL, and I kind of fused all the things that I've learned from, you know, teaching myself in the box and everything Dre taught me, and that's what created my sound.
I never worked on a big ass board because I used to mix everything strictly in the box, strictly in the computer only. I didn't use any outboard gear or nothing like that. And Dre does everything opposite. He does everything via like an SSL board and all outboard equipment. So I was able to learn the board from how he taught me, and I took the things that I already knew from mixing in the box or in the computer, and I was able to mesh the two worlds together, and that's how I created my own sound.
When Ali first got on the board, he made extensive use of it, often summing out entire sessions onto the full console, taking advantage of nearly every channel. He also took full advantage of the console's sends and insert points, which allowed him to use a whole host of outboard analog gear on top of the digital processing he used in the box. While at the time, MixByAli was working at a variety of different studios, hopping from SSL to SSL, his preferred weapon of choice was the 4000 G+, specifically the one located in Interscope Studios' A room, which Ali would later go on to purchase himself.
Console, again, this is the one that you know, we got from Interscope.
Wow,
man, we did
look at this
good,
console.
Good Kid, Mad City, Damn, To Build Butterfly, we done on this.
Wow, all three of those Kendrick albums
yeah.
on this board.
Yeah, man. And it was actually an 80 channel, but we cut it down to 48 just to, for one, fit the room, but to remake that legendary Interscope room. Like, this was the same speaker system, you know, just that sound.
This might be the flyest board I've ever seen.
This is the last. This is literally. It's a bit dusty.
This is a beautiful board. Like, this is like insane.
100%. It's a really piece of art, man. This is.
This is art.
And this is literally one of the last G+, 4000 G pluses that's ever been in production. Like, this is really a legendary board.
No, it's insane. Yeah.
But it was not just because of the board's history that Ali preferred it. Dr. Dre taught Ali how to manipulate the G+ specifically to give him certain sonic characteristics he likes, specifically the distortion.
It's a G+, actually. 4000 is my baby, yeah. And the reason why, because Dre always taught me this thing coming up. There's this thing, when you clip that board with your drums, it gives it like a good peak. It gives it like a top end shine that, you know, you can't learn from anywhere else.
You know, it's ways that I know how to use this board to use that type of distortion in my favor. You know, to give that kick or that 808 or that hi-hat or whatever I'm blowing out of proportion when it comes to level. I'm able to get a certain type of like peak or like a good distortion from it when I can manipulate it through this board. You know, when you're mixing on analog gear, you can distort, and you won't get a distortion sound. You would just get a more, you know, a more fatter sound, if that makes sense.
Are you opposed to working in the box?
Yeah. Like, the reason why I fell in love with analog shit, and the reason why me and this fucking nerd like mesh so well, bro, is because we understand that like you are the mouse. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not like the way you can clip like a 4000. The way you can like get that clean distortion from a board in your drums or your snare, you can never do that in the box, to my opinion, right?
Nah.
Like the depth, the clarity, the warmth that you get from mixing analog, you know, it's really a cheat code. Like, the people always ask me, like, how do you do this? I'm like, well, shit, turn it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like a drug. Like, once you get that high of like a mix that you can see through, it's like, yo, I'm not going back. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's the reason what pulled me into the analog feeling. You know, obviously coming under Dre and all the stuff that he taught me with mixing the hybrid in the box with the SSL. It's just that type of warmth that you really just can't achieve. I don't give a fuck what none of these companies say. There's no way you can achieve that feeling, to my opinion, in the box. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I like the more hands-on aspect to it. You are the mouse. You're the one touching the plugins, and you know, you get this sense of tunnel vision for those that don't really mix analog. You know?
Ali, the thing too is analog is so special to go up and touch something and change it.
It's crazy.
So to deprive yourself from not able to touch and I just don't know, you know.
You know what I'm saying?
It's so much fun.
It's exactly.
Before I get on with the rest of the video, I have something that's going to change y'all's life. At the moment, I'm willing to bet most of my viewers have terrible home studio setups, with loads of acoustic problems that could be hindering your productions and mixes. Luckily for you, I've teamed up with acoustics expert Gerhard Westphalen to bring you the Acoustics course, an extremely affordable and comprehensive guide on how you can revolutionize your home studio. In this course, you'll learn how to take any environment and acoustically treat it, from measuring your room for problems, to building cost-effective acoustic panels. It's all covered in this comprehensive program. If you want more information, hit the link in the description below, where I'll send you a free studio design checklist, monitor placement guide, and acoustic treatment building plans. If you want to check out the full course, head to www.georgecmusic.com. While Ali still primarily uses an SSL today, the challenges and demands of today's fast-paced workflow has caused him to take a more hybrid approach.
For a while, I went down to like 8 channels, where I had like vocals, drums, keyboards, and
I want to get into doing that actually.
But then
Recalls is a
Did you
bitch.
just wipe your hands on it?
This new approach essentially involved Ali using the console as more of a semi-mixer. To do this, Ali routes out his group auxes into stereo pairs of faders on the SSL. You'll see that the output of these auxes corresponds directly to channels on the console. For example, vocals leave out of 31 and 32, and you can see them coming into the console on channels 31 and 32. And from this point on, Ali can utilize the EQ and compression on the board. But this method of using the console is also quite genius. Having these auxes allows him to use the Pro Tools fader to drive the input of the SSL. While in most cases I've seen him use a minimal amount of auxes, for certain projects he'll really go extensive summing out. For example, here you can see the session for This Is America, and you can see the large amount of yellow auxes, which are being summed out to the console. While it seems Ali definitely prefers a hybrid approach, he isn't afraid to stay inside the box completely either.
It is like a level. So like there's certain artists that I work with that, for one, just they want that more like crunchier sound rather than getting that depth and clarity. So personally, like when I choose between analog or digital or a hybrid, it depends on the artist I'm working with, right?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, but
That's all for this video, taking a look at MixByAli's SSL mixing process. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.